Que Dios les bendiga, mis amados hermanos. Es un gran gozo y una gran alegría reunirnos aquí con el Todopoderoso a través de este medio para darle gloria y honra. Usted sabe que nada es imposible para nuestro Dios y Él se goza cuando sus hijos se reúnen a adorarle. Quiero tomar estos momentos para darle gracias a Dios por su fidelidad y la fidelidad de aquellos hermanos que continúan aportando sus diezmos, ofrendas y sus promesas. Dios es fiel y nosotros debemos también serle fieles. Y quiero recordarle a nuestros hermanos que además de los medios de aportación ya mencionados, tenemos otra opción. El lobby de la iglesia va a estar abierto de lunes a viernes de 8 a.m. a 9 p.m. y los sábados de 9 a.m. a 6 p.m. y los domingos estaremos abiertos de 9 de la mañana a 3 de la tarde para que usted pueda venir y traer su aportación en persona. Al entrar al vestíbulo, al frente al mostrador, hay una caja fuerte donde usted puede depositar sus aportaciones. Además, también puede utilizar la tarjeta de crédito o de débito en el terminal bancario que tenemos en el mostrador, como muchos de ustedes tienen por costumbre. Así que, mis amados hermanos, qué bueno que podemos ser parte del ministerio de nuestro Dios a través de este medio. Padre, te damos gracias y honramos, Dios mío, tu nombre, Señor, porque los corazones de mis hermanos son fieles. Te ruego, Dios mío, que aún en este tiempo donde muchos han perdido su trabajo o se le ha reducido, Señor mío, sus ingresos, que tú les multipliques ricamente, Señor amado, y que sientan tu presencia y tu poder. Y gracias, Dios mío, por aquellos que todavía siguen fieles en este trabajo que tenemos en mano. Que Dios les bendiga y adelante en el Señor.
Hey everyone, so welcome to our Y'all Life this afternoon. I miss seeing everyone, but what a time to experience everything so differently. I hope today's service speaks to everyone, and God bless you, and I'll see you soon.
Hey you guys, it's Rebecca, and I hope you guys are all doing great and are staying safe indoors. We hope to see you all soon at church again, whenever that is. And without further ado, I'm going to be bringing just a little bit of the DM today. It's just a little talk that I just want to share with you guys, and that's about trusting God's process. That I know we're all being tested on our trust during this time, and I think it's so important that we remember why we have to trust God. And starting with that, I'm going to dive into this already. And why you trust God is crucial to your walk with Christ, I think. And it's so important. And it's something that I think we need to really focus on, especially during this time, because now is not the time to stray away from God. Right now is the time to trust even harder. Think to yourself and ask yourself, is God asking me right now to trust harder in Him? Is that why maybe I don't feel as close to Him? Maybe I don't feel like what I had paused or what I had going for me during this time, I feel is not going to be there when I get back. If you feel like any doubt, anything, just think to yourself and self-evaluate really, and think, is God asking me to just trust harder in Him than I normally do? And I'm going to leave you guys with that little thought in your head, and we're going to dive in. So I think something that we really need to remember is that in the beginning, God already had a plan for us. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart, and I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." That just reiterates the fact that God has already known us. God already knew us before our parents even knew us. And I know we've heard this, I think, a bunch of times before at church. But it's just something that really, when you think about, it's so amazing because, I mean, there's no one else on this earth that has known us before we were even born. Like, not even your parents, nothing. Like, nobody on this earth, but just God. And I think the part, "I appointed you as a prophet to the nations," not that I've never heard this part before, but I feel like sometimes it's not really focused on as much. And really the way I took that, like, I think that's part of the verse really hit me a lot more, because the way I took that was that I can set this barrier for myself in my life, and that's fine, right? That's fine. And, give it to God, give what I want to be to God, everything in his hands. But God, just know that God has no barrier to where he wants to take us in life. He has no barrier. You want to be a dentist? That's great. Perfect. But if God says, "You know what? I don't want you to be a dentist. I want to make you the president of the United States of America," then there is no knowing what God is going to do with our lives, really. But just know that it's just going to be 10 times better. It's always 10 times better than what, we want for ourselves. And I just think that's like kind of amazing. And just gonna focus that a little bit. Okay. And I just think that's super amazing and just something that we shouldn't forget ever. Really, because who else is gonna give us more than what God can give us? Nobody. So Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to give you hope and a future." I know I'm not the only one that has ever sat in my room thinking so many things about my life. So many, like, am I gonna get here? Am I gonna do that with my life? Am I gonna be good? Like am I gonna be good enough to do this with what I want to do in my life? And just know that you are more than good enough to do whatever you want in life, really. Like I said, God has no barriers for us, so why should we put barriers in our own lives? Let God take you and do what he wants to do with you, because I know at the end of it, you will be so amazed with how much God has used you, And that's what a lot of us want, is for God to use us. But if we don't trust in him, then do we really know the extent that he can take us if we don't trust him? And that's really just one thing that God really asks of us, is to trust him. And there's just one thing also that I want to say, is that God makes our paths straight. So straight. Nobody on this earth can make our paths straight than God. And to also drag that along a little bit, is that the world cannot give you anything greater than what God can give you. And if you don't have a pen and pencil to write that down, pen and paper to write that down, you need to go get one and write it down. And remember it and stick it in your head that nobody in this world cannot give you more than what God can ever give you. And sometimes I feel we forget that, and I'm here to tell you guys that right now. So I have a little analogy for you guys, and it's a creator of an app. So with this, I want to show you guys that the creator is God and the app is us, his children. When a creator wants to create an app, he does it, right? He creates the app. He knows everything that's going to be put into this app. He knows how much the app can hold. He knows where he wants to take the app in the future. He knows literally every single inch of this app. And that's what I want to tell you guys, is that God knows where he wants to take us. God knows what he wants to do. Like, our timeline to God is already made out for us. And he already has it for us. And all we have to do is trust. Trust in him and it'll happen. Like, I think that's amazing. Like, he already has the blueprints out for our lives. but all we have to do is trust. But somehow that's just so hard for us as humans. And I mean, it's normal because we're not perfect, you know? And so that always happens, is that we doubt and we question, and that's okay. But just remember, like, when I have my moments of doubt and questioning, I go back and I read those verses and I think to myself, okay, I need to stop, because God literally tells me in the Bible that He's got my back, and there shouldn't be any reason why I'm doubting or questioning Him. So to continue with the analogy, the app will never know greater than the Creator. The app, we will never know more than God. We can never tell God, hey, I'm gonna go do this because I know that's best for me, and really, like, that's it. God, you cannot tell God you know better than Him, because it's just merely impossible for us to know better than God. It literally is, because how are we to know more than the Creator? It's just, I mean, it's just not possible. So God knows our end goal, and when we trust God, you will see Him manifest in your life. Romans 15:13 says, "May the God of hope fill you with joy and peace as you trust in Him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." So God even tells us we may go to Him with anxiousness, worries, doubts, questions, and sadness. We can go to God for that. Trust in Him, and He will fill you with joy and peace. Literally, I know we have all thought, like, I just want this sadness to go away, I just want this doubt to go away. But Romans 15:13 tells us, God tells us, may the God of hope fill you with joy and peace as you trust in Him. I think it's just so awesome how God already knew all of us, and He knew all the things that we were gonna think. So He knew what to put in this Bible to give us answers, really. Like, there are answers to everything in the Bible for us, guys, and really this is a way of living. And I just think that verse really just hit me so much, because we've all been there. And my second point is trusting and giving to God. So we need to trust in Him. And when we do that, we give Him our problems. We give Him our worries, our doubts. And that's when that verse comes in, because when you do, you will have joy and peace afterwards. And so then I want to go back to the analogy that the Creator will never put anything in the app that will damage it, make it run slow, make it maybe even like terminate the app. The Creator will never do that to its own invention. God will never put anything in our lives that we can't handle, that won't let us prosper, because God wants to see us prosper and He wants to see us do good. But there is, sometimes viruses that attack the app. There are hackers out there. And in our real world that we live in right now, the devil is our hacker. The devil is our virus that will try to attack us in real life and will try to attack our spiritual walk. The more you trust in God, the more the devil will try to take that away from you. But you need to remember that God, guys, I'm getting goosebumps right now. You just need to remember that God has our back. He literally tells us in Psalms 91 that He fights for us. The same way a Creator has backup people to defend the app from viruses, from hackers, God has, not only do we have God on our side, but we have the angels on our side too. And God will send the angels down from heaven to earth to come protect us from the devil, from demons, from any just bad, vibe, any evilness, and He will literally stop it and protect us. And that just goes so much into trusting Him. The more we trust in God, the more we'll know, and we won't fall into temptation, I think, as hard, really, because when you trust God, like, hey, that's not good for me. I'm trusting God. That's not for me. That's not, and once we start trusting him more and giving a lot of our things, like, and putting it in God's hands, we'll start viewing the world differently. And you'll think, God, if this is for me, let me know. If this is for me, put it in my life. If it's not, take it away. Like, we won't have any more like decisions on just us deciding, but really it's a decision that you leave God to decide for you, which I think when you do that, you literally see what's meant for you, you see what's not meant for you, and it's just so amazing, guys. The last thing I want to say is that with trust and giving comes waiting. Being patient is not easy for some of us, but never stop praying about what you gave to God. If I go to God praying with anxiousness about something and I give it to him, the next time I go in to pray about it the next day, I'm not going to have that same anxiousness about it because I know God has it in his hands and he's taking care of it. So why am I going to go back in with that same anxiousness? No, because I know I trust God and I trust his work, that I'm going to keep praying about it, but with hope, with joy, with knowing that God has what he has for me will come. And just a little like motivation out there, that just because you don't get an instant response does not mean that God is not working. Sometimes we want to answer right now, but God's looking at you like, you don't need it right now, but you might need it a week from now. You might need it a month from now. And so if you give it right now, then you might not see God working through you, because if it's not for you, it will not come to you. And if it is, it will. So really, I think one important thing you need to take from this is that God's timing is perfect. God is perfect, and putting our trust in him shouldn't be something we worry about, because why would we worry about trusting our Creator? We are his children, and our Father only wants to see us prosper and do good in life and do good for him also. So I just, honestly, this word that he gave me really helped me a lot personally through this time, and I hope you guys get something from this. I hope this speaks to you in any way, at least one thing you got from this, and I hope you take that, put it into your daily life. And yeah, so that's it. That's all I have. And again, we hope to see you guys soon, and I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your week. Bye, guys.
Buenas tardes, hermanos. Estoy aquí con mi hermana Ana y mi hermano Jesús David, y vamos a tocarles una canción que se llama The Blessing de Elevation Worship, y esperamos que sea de bendición para su vida. 1, 2, 3.
Dios Padre, bendiga, que extienda su amor y te muestre favor. Dios te mire con agrado y te dé paz. Amén, 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 que te cubra con su gracia hasta 1000 generaciones, tu familia y tus hijos y los hijos de tus hijos, que te cubra con su gracia hasta 1000 generaciones, tu familia y tus hijos y los hijos de tus hijos, tu presencia te acompañe donde quiera que tú vayas, que te llene, te ayude, va contigo de mañana y de noche, en tu entrada y salida, en tu llanto y alegría. Él te ama, 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 Él te ama. Amén, 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 amén.
Hey guys, this is Eric, and this is Jose, thing one and thing two from y'all.
Thank you for watching our service. I hope everybody is doing well during this quarantine.
At this moment, I would like to do an altar calling for those who want to reconcile or accept Jesus as their Lord and Savior. At this moment, we'll pray and bow our heads. Señor Jesucristo, me arrepiento de mis pecados. Te pido perdón. Te abro la puerta de mi vida y te recibo como mi Señor y Salvador. Gracias por perdonarme y toma control de mi vida. Haz de mí la clase de persona que tú quieres que yo sea. En el nombre de Jesús. Amén.
Amen. Don't forget to follow us on our social media for more service updates.
See you guys.
Los queremos informar de las plataformas y los horarios de nuestros servicios. Por YouTube y Facebook tenemos nuestro servicio general los viernes a las 8 de la noche y los domingos a las 10:30 de la mañana. El Ministerio Infantil tiene su servicio los sábados a las 2 de la tarde por los directores García. Por Zoom tenemos la intersección con la pastora los jueves a las 8 de la noche. Los jóvenes tienen su servicio con los directores Vázquez los sábados a las 7 de la noche. Invitamos a los padres que acompañen a sus hijos. Por Instagram, los Jovenes Adultos tienen su servicio el primer y tercer domingo de cada mes a las 6 de la tarde. Gracias por acompañarnos y que tengan un buen día. Bendiciones.